I think you and I have talked about it too.
I think when I think of that style of thing or that
Yeah.
style of group or organization or stream team, I think it's probably one of those just intuitively really good ideas, right? Like it makes a lot of sense, right? Like, all right, we're going to get like 50, 60, 70 people together and we're going to support each other and it's going to be great. I think
Yes.
it's one of those ideas that sounds like an awesome thing on paper, and that's about as far as it goes.
Yeah.
Because I think that there are some real limitations, and I'm sure this is going to frustrate the heck out of some people. Now, here's the thing. I'm sure there's probably a stream team out there on Mixer that does a
Mhm.
tremendous job. And I think we can talk about ways that I think like what you should watch out for. And I think like best practice for how that probably should be. But
Right.
I also think that it's absolutely an opportunity for people to maybe not fulfill their end of the bargain, not hold, like I said, not hold up their end of the bargain.
Yep.
And also you don't really know these people,
No, you
so I mean
don't.
I think one of the biggest limitations is like, we talked about like networking, and you had said kind of in the pre-show just how important like word of mouth is in
Yes.
terms of when people speak of you,
Yep.
what do they say?
Yeah. Hands
Well,
down.
now all of a sudden you're on a stream team, right? And you just joined a stream team, right? And you're so excited because there's like 65 people on this
Mm-hmm.
stream team. How well do you know all 65 people? Because here's what happens. Let's say one person, just an idiot, and absolutely goes out and does something incredibly stupid, says something wrong, and everybody sees it, right? Maybe they're even one who's getting a lot of exposure.
Yep.
Everybody sees it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they look down in the bottom right and they see, oh, he's on that team.
Yep. Because people do
What
take notion of that.
Now all of a sudden, what have you just tied your little fledgling company to without even knowing it? And so I think that's a huge issue. I think there's probably a huge issue in terms of who gets host and for how long. I think it's an easy way for people to say, you know what, come in, jump on our auto host, and you'll get this maybe once every other week. And when you do get it,
Yeah.
is it as long for everybody else? I mean, there's just so
Mm.
much that you don't know,
Oh, I
right?
do. I can
Yeah,
say
you
it. I
do,
know I
right?
do.
Because here, the real life, the kind of business example of this is I use the term networking group, because here's what
Right.
networking groups are, right? And I've done like 3 or 4 of them,
Uh-huh.
and I can count on one hand how much business has been generated, because here's the approach that it's always taken. It's a bunch of people talking about their businesses,
Yep.
and there's no
Yep.
dialogue
Nope.
about how I can help your business. There's very little dialogue, right? And I think that's what happens in these stream teams. So yeah, hey, you got 300-400 followers, you want to come be on our stream team? Awesome. But you got to have this tab open, you got to have all these tabs open, you got to do this and
Yep.
this. And what is the return on that investment that you're getting? Has that been made clear?
Yeah, I
Um,
think that's where people misunderstand stuff. Like, I'm not afraid. I'm on people's auto host. I'm on one team that I just recently got on because they asked, and I was very transparent with them. I was like, "Look, man, I don't know what you expect from me, but I did this because I want to game with people.
yeah,
How many times y'all see me in here trying to help out
yeah,
people with Apex all the time? Because I want to game with people. I mean, I'm not.
yeah,
There's type A personalities and Bs, and we're not always going to see
yeah,
eye to eye. We're not going to see the same way. I get it, but that's where
yeah,
trial and error is no different from LFG. But as far as the
yeah,
stream team aspect, yeah, I shouldn't have to deliver my pocket of money to somebody's channel just to be
yeah,
recognized, and
right,
nor should you or anybody else.
yeah.
And here's the thing, you're talking about
Have
people
you
on teams,
seen
you're
that
right.
where the barrier to entry, sorry to cut you off, but have
Oh,
you seen that where the barrier to entry or the only way that you get support in this stream team is if you're opening up the wallet?
I've seen a couple.
Yeah.
Seen a couple. They say they're not
Yeah.
about that, but they're full of shit.
Sure.
Just straight up. Sorry,
Yeah.
y'all. I
Yeah.
mean, there's people out there that are okay. They're gonna try to take success the moment they can. The train's going forward. Either
Yep.
you're on it or you're
Yep.
trying to catch it. And
Right.
that's how it goes in streaming. But if you're generally a nice person and you want to do the right thing, yeah, you can do it that way too. But you got to be successful in your own manners. And I think that's where people misunderstand that if you have to pay somebody embers or dollars and get their consensus of being like recognized just to get
Yeah.
hosted, no, there's no
Yeah.
point in it. People want to
Yeah.
do it. I'm more than grateful. I'm
Yeah.
actually in my process right now to try to create an auto host for our community, like the
Sure.
one that I've got right now for people that are
Yeah.
just low gaming streamers. And I told them that,
Yeah.
like straight up, hey, you want help because it's exposure. Not everybody's always going to chat,
Right.
but it at least gives you an opportunity to be up on the top of the charts or something in that hopeful concept. But I think
Yeah.
people do need to understand that I've been in teams where I've had people suspended on Mixer, and I didn't know, and I don't know these people at all. And I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
not being affiliated with y'all. I'm
Yeah.
in the military too, y'all. So if you do something lucrative on Mixer and it ties back to me, I'm out. Straight up. I am not going to sit there and be given two shits about it or lose any sleep over it,
Right.
because I
Right.
go under
Well, it's
two
your
different
brand,
laws.
right? It's your
Okay.
brand. It's your name, right? Yeah.
But that
Yeah. I
goes
mean,
in hand too with the Mixer's TOS, which I don't think anybody ever reads that at all.
what about which aspect of the TOS?
Well, it's just like things that, like, if you're to host somebody and they were to act obscene or do something really
Mm-hmm.
crazy, it could actually, the person that hosted you, from what I read, and I might have misread that, it could affect you as the person that hosted them.
Yeah.
You know, being
Yeah.
involved with other people in communities, if you're trying to push for partner and they see you hosting all these people and you're in this team community that's
Yep.
full of miscreants and adolescents, or God
Right.
knows what else other bad word you could throw in there, that's, not doing right things by Mixer because
Yeah.
it's their business,
Yeah.
then you kind of hinder yourself, and you put yourself at risk if you wanted to do something further. Say you are partner, you could put yourself at risk. So it's a business aspect. And
Well, I
go
think
ahead.
too, like Rod, so that brings up a good point, because I actually saw I was in Rod's channel the other day, and I saw at the bottom, he has it like literally in the words, like a disclaimer in all caps, and says the actions or attitudes or views, blah, 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 of the people that are hosted by this channel do not reflect the blah, blah, blah of this channel.
Yeah, you
And
have
I
to
think
be
that's
that
really
clear.
smart. I mean, that's a tremendous, like, cover your ass policy. I mean, I think it's a good step in the right direction, but I also think it's really, it's funny. Like, we're talking here about stream teams, and then we're talking about, okay, well, what are the benefits of these stream teams? And the fact of the matter, the irony of all this is you can get the benefits of being on a stream team and getting hosted and having a community without the need for a stream team.